Yo, dude.
Hello, dude. How you doing? You right? Have you missed me?
I haven't missed you not paying me, but I must admit, I have missed being routinely funnier than you.
Okay. It's funny you say that, dude, actually. Can I show you something?
Go on.
Right. While I was gone, I collated comments from my social media accounts relating to your voice.
Yep.
I've got Jules on Facebook, ha ha ha, Mark. I've got Anthea on Facebook, love Mark, smiley emoji. Haley on Instagram, Mark's voiceover is absolutely hilarious. Music Hour UK on Twitter, the voiceover guy is epic, great series CK. And Katie on LinkedIn, God knows why I was on LinkedIn, I hate that fucking place. Lol, CK, love your vids, and that guy's voice.
Confirming that I'm funnier than you?
No. Proving that I put you on the map.
CK, if anyone approaches me ever and says, hey, I recognise your voice, you're the guy from CK Golding's YouTube channel, aren't you? You know what I'll do?
Go on.
Nothing, mate. I'll do nothing. I'll be too busy being dead of shock.
Alright, I'll give you that one.
The secret to happiness is finding something you love and then doing that for the rest of your life.
Hey, welcome. My name is CK Golding, and every day this month I am writing, producing, releasing, and distributing a new show for 30 days in a row. This is VEDA, video every day in April.
Except for April 13th, April 14th, 15th and 16th, which CK was unable to honour due to unforeseen creative exhaustion. Otherwise known as lazy as fuck.
Yeah, to be fair, that's half true. So how are you? What have you been up to for the last 4 days? Thank you for returning. I, as Mark mentioned, have not been here for 4 days because I had a 2-day convention to go to, which I'm going to share with you in a little bit, along with the outcome of my awkward dating situation, which I promised I would share in the first show back. But thank you sincerely for the comments and tweets you sent me during my brief hiatus. I really appreciate the comments. I don't know if I can say I necessarily missed being away because I just needed that 4-day gap because I've never done this before. So I adored the convention I went to. It just gave me an opportunity just to get my energy back, get my mojo back, and just throw myself back into it. I'll start by telling you a little bit about the convention I went to. It was called the Cosmopolitan Self Made Summit. It was a collection of creative people, business people, and I kind of fit in the hybrid of the two. I've got my content agency, but I'm also a presenter and a writer and a creator. It was wonderful. It had some of my favourite presenters on UK TV there as well. Ultimately, I got a goodie bag. Actually, I got 2 goodie bags. But after day 1, I gave one to my mate Nikita, so I gave her one. When I say gave her one, I mean a goodie bag, by the way. Jesus Christ. Maybe on your birthday I'll give you one, Nikki. I have one spare. It has loads. To be fair, it's a pretty decent goodie bag, I must admit. If anybody wants dry shampoo, a detangle brush, lived-in spray. I mean, I've got to admit, Cosmo is pretty much read by 95% women, but like probably 96% of my clients are women, which is why I was there. A notebook by Very, some tea. In fact, I'll have that. Hibiscus coconut water body scrub. Something else. Chocolate. Sorry, if you'll excuse me. You can have everything else though. Also, in each goodie bag was this. The latest issue of Cosmo. I was going through it, and if anybody's bored, please flick to starting on page 93, we have a feature called The 30 Most Right Swiped. These are the 30 most popular people on Tinder. Every single one of these 30 humans have been asked the same question. What's in your Tinder bio? What's your opening line? Best date you've ever had? What makes you swipe right? What makes you swipe left? I think my favourite question they asked all 30 people was your opening line. Some of them, honestly, I was reading some of the lines by these dudes, and I don't understand how there's not more lesbians in the world if this is the bullshit that we're churning out. Like, this guy, from London, cabin crew manager. Your opening line, how have you been? Yeah. Cheers, mate. I mean, I was fine till I started talking to you. Vincent, 23, Bristol, student, opening line. Tell me an interesting fact about yourself. I don't like dickheads. Jog on. That'll be my interesting line to you. Chris, 25, London, corporate investigator, opening line. Actually, I like this guy, to be fair. I enjoyed Chris. Is there a boyfriend I should be concerned about? I enjoyed that one, actually. To be fair, I might use that. I don't think I'll be going anywhere near Tinder in the foreseeable future. We'll discuss that in a minute. Pablo, 34, London, opening line. Where are you from? Really? What the... I'd be thinking, I come from wherever you're not. So, yes, that was Cosmopolitan. May, £2. That was an interesting feature, sponsored by Tinder. If they asked me, CK, content creator, Sheffield, London, what's your opening line? I'd have to go with, I promise not to record some of your conversation like I did with my last date. So in episode 12, I mentioned how I was going to get in contact with someone I went on a date with last year because I had to apologise to her because she didn't know it at the time, but I recorded some of our dates. It was nothing personally. We were talking utter nonsense, but at the time I was in this cycle of just creating content, and I thought, what if I went on a date, on a Tinder date, which I would normally never do, but I did it for the purposes of the video, and in order to bring you guys on the date with me, I recorded like about 90 seconds to 2 minutes of audio when we were just talking about nonsense, and put that in the video, uploaded it to YouTube. Then I started to feel shitty about it a couple of months later, so then I arranged to meet her on Saturday, which would have been 3 days ago. I'll be brutally honest with you, I don't really want to talk about it in any great depth now, but I immediately after our meeting, I did start recording my emotions because I knew that I wouldn't be able to necessarily capture fully how I felt immediately after it, like 3 days later as in today. So I'm just going to play a little bit of footage. Oh, actually, in fact, before I go into the video, I just want to share with you some comments that I had on YouTube from the people who knew I was going to get in contact with her and tell her that I recorded some of the date. I just want to let you know what they said. Mark, share with me some of those comments.
So yeah, Mountain Town Boutique said, I did think the secret recording was invasive and pretty shocked to see it. I'm so glad to hear you're telling her, but I'm nervous for you. Enjoy your break, we'll miss you. Also, Alex Hyatt, it wasn't a great choice to record it without her knowing.
Yeah. So basically, people were just making me think, yeah, CK been a dick. Here's the video. I mean, all right. So we went to an Italian. I've got the name of the Italian here somewhere because it was a really nice place. And if ever you're in London, I want you to go. This place, Elephant and Castle. It's such a nice place. It was absolutely joyous. So we went there for dinner, and the food was wonderful. The chat was wonderful. She was as awesome as ever. And I thought I'll wait till the end. I'm not going to ruin the evening by just dropping that. So yeah, I just said, "Are you ready for my confession?" And she kind of laughed awkwardly, wriggled in her seat, and went, "Yeah, what is it?" And one moment, please. Okay, so then I just said, well, you know, during our first date, as you know, I do YouTube videos. In fact, I'm going to have to continue this in a bit. Okay, so I said, because during this meeting we were talking a lot more about the content and video that I make, so before I got to my confession, she actually asked me where my videos were on YouTube and stuff, so I told her. And then at the end, I made her the confession about making the video, including her, and her first sentence was, she kind of went, "You could have told me." And I was like, exactly, I agree, that's why I'm telling you now. And she was like, why didn't you tell me like the next day or a few days later? Which was an incredibly fair question. And I said, well, at the time when I made that video, I was just in content mode, making videos all the time, so I didn't really think about the consequences. Then I went through my lull of not making videos. I reflected on that video and others, and I thought, yeah, it'd be nice to see her again, but I don't want to see her again unless or until I tell her about this. And there was one thing she said as well, which I think is fair. I said, I don't know, I just felt guilty. And she went, you felt guilty today? And I think what she meant by that is she suspected I was only telling her because I'd just given her my YouTube details and she was going to find it herself. So she probably thought, you're only telling me now because you've given my YouTube details. And I said, well, that's not the case for two reasons. One, I didn't have to give you my YouTube details if I was that bothered. But two, I've made a video about this yesterday saying that I was going to confess, so that is the only proof I need. I'm in the clear. I was going to give you this information regardless of giving you my YouTube account, and she was happy with that. It was just, as I'm telling you this now, it was just so awkward, because like, I mean, there was a point when she said like it's no big deal, and I was like, well, it's not for me to say it's no big deal. I wasn't the one that covertly recorded someone. It's for you to decide whether it's no big deal. And she went, I'll watch it when I get home. And I said, yeah, please do, and let me know. And she went, I'm excited, I'm looking forward to it. And then she asked me about 3 times, the lighting's going bad. She asked me about 3 times, what was I saying? Like, what did you record? And I was like, utter nonsense. You were talking utter nonsense about tapas, octopus, squid, which she was. And she had a laugh at that. Then she asked me again, what was I saying? And I said, you were saying nothing. I didn't record anything of value. I didn't even mention your name, who you are. All anonymous. And I just think a couple of times she said, you could have just told me this like the next day, like why not? And then I repeated why I didn't tell her, which I've just mentioned here. So it was really, because it was really difficult to tell how she felt about it. Because when she said it's no big deal, I don't know if that was just a natural reflex, the way that humans try to brush things off when they feel awkward, or she genuinely thought it's no big deal, I don't know. This guy thinks I'm weird. But, honestly, the last few minutes have been absolute torture. I felt like shit. But, you know, I wanted to do this video, but I will not be fucking doing that again. In truth, when I was heading to meet her, I only really anticipated one of 2 outcomes. I thought she's either gonna say, you're a dick, and just storm off, or she'd say, oh, that's cool, it's no big deal, it's just a bit of audio, that's fine. What I wasn't anticipating, however, was a hybrid between the two, where it turns out, following text messages that we've exchanged following that video, that she kind of sits in between the two. I think she's actually said in the text message, I don't want to show too much of her text message because that's pretty much what got me into this situation in the first place, but effectively, I don't think she necessarily finds the recording too much of a problem or an intrusion, or she's not bothered by that. I think it's the fact that she now doesn't know what she can say to me in text or whatever, whether that's going to end up in one of these videos, which is a 100% fair point. So, long story short, I don't think I'll be seeing her again anytime soon. That was her request, not mine. And, like, I 100% understand. What I mean, I suppose what bothered me the most is I get the impression, or at least I'm 90% sure, that she thinks I have probably been insincere in some of the stuff we've been talking about in the pursuit of getting content for these videos, which she kind of hinted in a text message after that evening. 100% not the case. But again, why wouldn't she think that in her situation? I would think exactly the same. So regardless of how much I protest otherwise, and the fact that the opposite is the case, it doesn't matter. Like, I think she's well within her rights to think that. And I have nothing further to say other than that. I'm not sure I'm all right with talking about this kind of stuff in video, but I kind of opened the can of worms, so I guess I have to close it again. I have asked her if she'd like me to remove the video. I've not got a reply back from her yet, which is making me think 2 things. I don't think the video bothers her so much. I think it's more the trust thing, or maybe she would rather just have the video up there to save herself having to fucking talk to me anymore.
Join us tomorrow. See what happened when CK approached strangers on the streets of London and told each person,
Excuse me, good morning, I just wanted to let you know that I love you.
Good morning.
I love you, I just wanted to let you know.
please subscribe to this channel, give the video a like, and, for the love of God, get CK off Tinder.